Well, this is a privilege. This is the fifth time that I've been to Israel. Every time that I've been here, we've been on the Sea of Galilee. And this is where so many things took place in Jesus' ministry. This is where that he taught from the boat to the disciples as they had toiled all night and all. And so the people also, had been there around where that he talked to them. And this is where that Peter, he doubted. After he'd already walked, he doubted because he saw the wind. When we were here in 1979, we come down to the lake, and the water got very troubled at night. You wouldn't believe it. There wasn't no wind or anything, but it just really got troubled. And this is the first time that I understood, so much about the sermon, the city on the hill. Because Golan Heights is over here, and because Golan Heights is over there, then you couldn't see nothing of the daytime. But when night come, then look across here to Golan Heights, and you could see little flickers of light everywhere because of the houses that had been built there. And as I said a while ago, this is where Peter doubted, and Jesus bid him to come, and then he began to sink, and Jesus took hold of him, lifted him up. So he's lifting us up today and giving us this opportunity of being here, and I appreciate each one of you being here from Faith Assembly, from Norway, and from Florida. Of course, you're part of Faith Assembly wherever you're from. So I thank each one of you for being here, from Georgia and all. So I'm glad that they had the 3 flags here. Of course, we have 2 flags there at Faith Assembly, of which is the Israeli flag and also the American flag. We have them together, and I appreciate that we can recognize Israel, because Israel is the place of the future. Whenever all the nations come against her, you will find that Israel is the one that survives. But many things happened here on the Sea of Galilee that Jesus talked about, and that he instructed his disciples, and all of the disciples, as he began to call them, come from this Sea of Galilee area. Notice most of them were fishermen. He had some. Matthew was a publican and different ones. But most of them come from here, and they had all heard the preaching of John the Baptist, no doubt were baptized by John. Even when they chose Matthias, they had to choose somebody that had been a part of John's ministry. So today we're not only, some people think we're sailing on the same water, we're not, but this is the same place. And it is the same representation as if it were the water that Jesus walked on and all, but it's still the place of where so much of the Christian history belongs, along the Sea of Galilee. Jesus went from here to Jerusalem, but this was his main place. Here at Capernaum and Tiberias and so on, because he did go across the sea. Whenever he had gone to sleep, and the disciples worried about him going to sleep, thinking that he didn't care because the water was getting in the boat. So they had a storm that night. But he got up and rebuked the storm, and the disciples were amazed that even the wind and the water they took reference to what he's doing. So it's a faith thing that our lives are based on. And much of it started right here as far as Christianity goes. So this is, as Rafi said, he said this is only fresh lake in the world that's 600 feet below sea level. And that is something that it would be, because most water, whenever you get that, it's either brine by salt or something, but this is not. This is something that represents life. We're sitting on life today because God has given us life. We thank Him for these things, and I thank you for listening to me, for Rafi giving me the opportunity of being able to speak a few words to you. Have a good day. God bless you. Put my hat back on there.
You're moving mountains that I don't even see. You answer my prayer before I even speak. All you need for me to be is still. Bring my praise before I bring my needs. 'Cause there's no fear you've not already seen. I rest my heart on all your promises. 'Cause I have seen and know your faithfulness. Your parting waters, making a way for me. You're moving mountains that I don't even see. You've answered my prayer before I even speak. All you need for me to be